Just Cause 3 is very much fast approaching. It is out very early December and we seem to have a bit of a leak as there is a image of the back cover of the game which very much reveals the system requirements for the PC version of Just Cause 3. Now, as I said, this is an image and it looks pretty damn legit and it seems like these are going to be the actual specs, but as it's not from the mouths of the devs, do take this with a small pinch of salt as always, but I'd say this looks fairly legit. Regardless of all that, it'd be interesting to see how accurate these actually are if it isn't legit, but regardless, we have the minimum system requirements. OS-wise, interestingly, it actually supports Windows Vista SP2, and of course Windows 7 and 8.1. CPU-wise, you need an Intel Core i5-2300 at 2.8 GHz or an AMD Phenom 2X6 1055T at 2.8 GHz. 6 gigs of RAM, and GPU-wise is fairly meaty but not too bad with an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 660 with 2 GB of VRAM or an AMD Radeon HD 7870 again with 2 gigs of VRAM. DX is 11 and this weighs pretty heftily on the hard drive at 45 gigs. As for the recommended, naturally the OS is the same. CPU wise, you'll need an Intel Core i7-3770 at 3.4 GHz or an AMD FX 8350 at 4 GHz. 8 gigs of RAM and as you would expect, a much meatier GPU. You'll need a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 760 with 3 gigs of VRAM or an AMD Radeon R9 280X with 3 gigs of video RAM. Now, interestingly as well, the back cover, which I will link in the description below, does also feature the NVIDIA GameWorks logo, but of course, given that this is a leak, we don't yet know how exactly Just Cause 3 is going to be making use of GameWorks. And when we had some interesting reports about the graphics settings at Paris Games Week, there was no mention of HBO Plus or TXAA, so be curious to see how GameWorks plays into it. Regardless of that, these aren't too bad specs wise actually. I've seen way meatier, and of course we do have a habit of AAA developers recently to kind of overplay their specs a little, so it might even be that you could underplay these, but do take this as sort of the ballpark figure, but it isn't too bad. The 280X is a bit of an ouch, but it's not too bad, and it looks like you should be able to run this fairly well. Regardless of that, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.